big movie this week.
Yeah.
Number 1 at the box office.
Yeah.
Did better than 50 Shades Darker, which wasn't surprising.
Thank God.
Fucking Lego goddamn Batman.
Yes.
Starring Will Arnett, Zach Galifianakis, Michael Cera,
Rosario Dawson,
and probably some other people.
Ray Fiennes.
Yeah, Ray Fiennes.
Yeah.
Who also played Voldemort.
Yep.
Who was also in the movie.
Yeah.
And that blew me away.
I thought
Honestly,
that was great.
And I'll say this. Best DC movie since Dark Knight.
Easily.
You know, and I liked The Dark Knight Rises, but this was better.
I did not like The Dark Knight Rises, and this
would
was
have thought-
vastly better.
Who would have thought that the best DC movie that we've had in 8-9 years would be the Lego Batman movie?
I did. I figured.
Of all movies.
I mean, after I saw Suicide Squad, I was like, yeah, no, Lego Batman is going to be the best DC movie ever.
Probably to come out in a long time. No,
Yeah.
It was great. It was so funny. And I loved the way that they poke fun at earlier incarnations
Literally
of Batman.
every incarnation of Batman.
The 60s all the way up to the Christopher Nolan movies and the Batman v Superman movies. And they show all the old Batmobiles and really I watched some interviews with the filmmakers and they're like, there's so much that we can do in this that they never could have done in a regular Batman movie. And as far as I can tell, this might be the first Batman movie we've had that doesn't have a flashback of Thomas and Martha Wayne getting fucking shot.
It does not.
Thank God.
I didn't even think about that.
Thank God.
Thank God
Well,
that
remember-
I didn't even
right.
think about that.
And you know what? When we talked about Batman v Superman, I said, I'm tired of fucking seeing his parents get killed over and over and over again. And finally, we get a movie that, it does reference it barely.
Yeah.
Basically, it shows a picture of
A
them,
selfie.
but it never really says what happened.
No.
And I love how in the background of the picture it says Crime Alley.
Yeah. You know
That was
what?
great.
I will briefly pause you and say, I bet we're going to see Thomas and Martha Wayne killed again in the Ben Affleck Batman movie.
And probably in Justice League.
Yep.
They just got to keep reminding us.
Yep.
They got to keep reminding us that his parents are dead. We get it. and this kind of goes back to the John Wick thing that we were talking about. Audiences are smart enough and they don't need to know. They don't need to be constantly reminded of these things of why Batman is who he is. We know who he is. He's a iconic character that has been around for the better part of a century.
I would be, and Spider-Man Homecoming is coming out this year. I hope we don't see Uncle Ben die again.
Right, and I'm sure it'll reference it, but, he's already been established in the Marvel Universe now. So, hopefully I would love to see us get away from origin stories, and let's
especially
get to the meat of it.
in existing universes,
Right.
at least.
Yeah, because we've had 2 Spider-Man origin stories. We've had Batman, and then I guess Batman Begins would really count as the origin stories, and then Batman v Superman touched on it. We've had 2 Superman movies that go through it. Every Marvel movie that's come out that has been the first movie of a particular franchise
you get
character
the whole origin.
is the origin, and it's just like, come on, man, do we have to do this every fucking time? Do we have to? That's why I like Punisher Warzone.
I have not. I actually haven't seen Warzone.
Warzone is fucking great.
I loved the Thomas Jane one.
Yeah,
and Warzone is better.
Yes,
really.
It's campier, but it is so much more violent. You'll love it.
And that's what the Punisher is. So
right.
I like that.
But anyway,
yeah,
let's
back
get
to Lego Batman because we didn't see an origin story.
We didn't see an origin story.
We kind of saw Robin's origin story.
Yeah, but even then, it doesn't really go into that much.
Yeah, no.
He just kind of shows up at this event, and Bruce Wayne just kind of agrees to adopt him. But I don't want to go through every beat of the story on this, and I just want to gush about how great and funny it is and some of the surprising things that have happened with it. Of course we see the Batmobile. We see the Batwing and all that kind of stuff, but we also get a new vehicle called the Scuttler.
Yeah.
Which is like a giant robot dog.
It's kind of a giant robot bat, I think is what it is.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because,
I'm just thinking of that ending scene
when
where
it's
he
running
sends
around,
him away.
Yeah, and then it unfolds its wings and flies off and stuff. So I think it's supposed to be a giant robot scuttling bat.
Right. You know, I went into this movie without realizing that it was Zach Galifianakis that did the voice of the Joker.
You know, actually, I did too.
And I was about like a quarter of the way through, and I was like, I think that's Zach Galifianakis that's doing the voice of the Joker. And the more I
it was
watched
through that whole heist thing at the beginning when they got the bomb on the nuclear plant or whatever, and I keep hearing his voice, and I'm like, damn it, I recognize that.
Right.
I recognize that. What is it? What is it? Is that Zach Galifianakis?
Yeah. I love the Batman rap at the beginning. And I love how he just, you know, he's like a little kid. You know, it's like he never got to grow up.
Despite the fact that they make multiple references to him being around and fighting with the Joker for nearly 80 years.
Yeah. And it's so, there's a lot of those like meta in jokes in it, but he's still like a kid. He's so like cocky and arrogant. But it just works so well because you couldn't do a Lego Superman movie and have Superman act like Lego Batman does.
Right.
You know?
Channing Tatum played Superman in the Lego Batman
I didn't
movie.
realize that.
Yeah.
And he wasn't, a very big character.
No,
but
he was
they
virtually non-existent.
But they do poke a lot of fun at Superman.
Yeah.
And that they're like, the enemies. And of course you get that scene that we saw in the trailers where he's like, I'm kind of in between bad guys right now. I don't really have a bad guy. And he's like, what's your arch enemy or whatever? And he's like,
Superman?
You mean Superman? No, he's a good guy. I'm a bad guy. And that's really the whole motivation behind the Joker in this is that, he wants to be Batman's
one
nemesis.
and only nemesis.
Right,
yes.
yeah. And I thought that was great because you don't ever get those kind of things in any kind of superhero story at all.
Yeah.
Where the bad guy wants to be like his only bad guy. I want to be your worst bad guy. I want to be your arch rival.
And I don't even mind if you fight other guys, but you always end up coming back to me.
And it was all the thing about like, say it. I just want to hear you say it. I hate you,
I hate
Joker.
you, Batman. I hate you, Joker.
Yeah. And those things were great. But really what surprised me the most is, the storyline goes that the Joker gets sent to the Phantom Zone where they sent General Zod, which they used kind of the design of Zod from the old Superman movies instead of the new one, which I liked that.
Yeah, me too.
But all the worst bad guys are in the Phantom Zone. So who is in the Phantom Zone? Fucking gremlins?
Gremlins.
Voldemort?
Daleks.
Sauron?
King
from
Kong.
the Lord of the Rings, the Wicked Witch of the West, and the Flying Monkeys and stuff. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe they're doing that. That's so awesome. And it's funny when they actually reference the Daleks. He's like, and British robots, ask your nerd friends. And I was just like, yes.
I'm pretty sure I laughed out loud.
And who would have thought? Who would have thought that a mainstream movie that is, I would say, for the most part, geared towards an American audience would have a Doctor Who reference in it at all? That I think is really cool.
Yeah.
And the great thing about the Lego Batman movie is it's going to appeal to kids as much as it does to adults. My girlfriend and I went and saw it with her 4-year-old daughter, and she loved it. She was like, oh, that was so awesome. Except for when the penguins were getting killed. She really likes penguins.
Right.
But, we explained to her that they were evil penguins.
They were evil penguins.
I tell you, my only complaint about the Lego Batman movie is that we didn't get a cameo from Emmett. Chris Pratt's character from the Lego movie.
I mean, Wildstyle wasn't in it either.
Right, but I mean, Emmett was the main character.
Yeah.
And I would have liked to have seen him and then had like a little bit of, cross reference in that universe.
I mean, I feel like there's reasons for them not being in it, though.
Yeah, what reason?
Because
Chris?
Batman exists in his own... Because there were, like, multiple worlds in the Lego movie. So the Gotham City in Batman's world is its own world. It's completely separate from the Lego City that Emmett exists in.
Yeah, but I mean, Batman has traveled to these other worlds in the Lego movie.
Yeah.
So why is it not even referenced? Did it take place before?
Why
the
does
Lego movie?
Why does Superman not show up in The Flash on the CW?
I don't know. I don't watch those
Because
shows.
it's a different world, man.
Dude, I'm just saying, I like these Lego movies. I think they're great.
I saw a preview for another Lego movie that's coming out later this year.
What is that? Because I was out getting popcorn.
Yeah.
Whenever that trailer played. What is it all about? Is it like a Ninjago thing?
Ninjago is like another Lego series that's on like Cartoon Network or something.
Yeah. I don't give a shit.
I don't know anything about it. Yeah, no, and it looks like it's probably going to be bad.
Yeah.
But Kumail Nanjiani is one of the voices in it, so I
don't
might
even know who the fuck that is.
He's hilarious.
I don't even know what you said. Is that English?
Yes, it's no, it's not because he's Indian, I think. But
But I love the Lego movies, and I love the look of the Lego movies because it's all CGI, but it really looks like it could almost be stop motion animation. It looks that good. I really half expected the movie to end kind of the way that the Lego movie did, where you find out that it's like some boy
I was kind
playing
of
with
surprised.
Batman toys. I kind of expected that to happen, but it didn't, and that's okay.
Yeah, I'm all right with that.
Yeah, but I mean, overall, dude, it was so fucking fun. It was just a great time. Laugh out loud, jokes galore throughout the whole thing.
Constant Batman references galore. To all of them.
I don't
going all the way back to the George Clooney movies, the Michael Keaton movie, the Val Kilmer movie, the Adam West Batman, and the old
the old
black
I used
and
to
white
have a
Batman.
VHS tape with some of those old serials
Yeah.
on there. And that's the thing, man. I can't imagine anyone who is a Batman fan being disappointed at all with this movie. And it's not like it is being like irreverent of the source material a little bit, but if you can't poke fun at it, then what good is it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I hope they make sequels to it. I want to see more Lego Batman movies. And I have seen some of the straight-to-video Lego Batman stuff, and it's definitely by leaps and bounds different than this. And I think that the Lego franchise of movies has a great future ahead of itself. And I got to be honest with you, whenever I first heard that they were doing a Lego movie, I was like, "What?
Yeah.
Why? How are they going to do that?" Kind of like whenever they announced that they were making a movie based on Tetris. I was like, "How do you even do that?" But
they're making a 3-part trilogy out of Tetris.
Right.
Thank you very much.
But they knocked it out of the park with the Lego movie. So whenever I saw the preview for the Lego Batman movie, I was like, "Oh, this is going to be fantastic. This is going to be incredible," because the Lego movie was so good. And I hope that's something that they continue to do for a long time. And what's great about the Lego movies is they have the ability to tell a lot of different stories with a lot of different characters that we already know and love. I mean, the Lord of the Rings and Batman and Superman and all that kind of stuff have already been referenced in these other movies. Yeah. They obviously have some kind of license to use these characters, and I just hope they do it more and more. Maybe we'll get a Lego Doctor Who movie. How cool would that be?
I mean, they used the Daleks in this one.
They did.
They could probably make a Lego Doctor, and they've got like the Lego Doctor Who set and stuff
it was in Lego Dimensions. Peter Capaldi did the voice.
Yeah.
So I mean, we'll see. We'll see. But is there anything else we need to say about the Lego Batman movie?
It's wonderful. Go watch it.
Yes, it's wonderful. Go watch it. It's the best DC movie in a long time.
Oh,
Will it save the DC universe?
No.
Probably not. The jury's still out on that.
We'll wait for Wonder Woman, and then we'll make our final.
and you know what? Hey, if Wonder Woman bombs and they start, because I know the Flash is having a shit ton of trouble. Right now, getting that off the ground.
Much less the actual Ben Affleck Batman.
They should honestly scrap all the DC movies that are on the slate and just make them all Lego DC movies.
Yes, the Lego DC universe.
And why not? Why not do that and be completely 100% leaps and bounds and miles apart from what Marvel is doing, and just be totally crazy. And what's funny is, and we'll move on in just a second, but the whole like dark, dour Zack Snyder murderverse, no jokes movies, and then we get this, which has got like, there's like 5 jokes, every 2 seconds. It seems like it's just so. Oh my god, it was great.
What's the password, Batman? Iron Man sucks.
Iron Man sucks. That kind of. That kind of surprised me as well. Because if you look at the trailer and they're like, "What's the password?" He's like, "No, no, 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 Batman," or something like that. And in the movie, it was Iron Man sucks.
Yeah.
So, which, I mean, the argument could be made that Iron Man and Batman characters are both very similar.
Yes, they are.
But anyway, anything else?
No. It's great. Go watch it.